For some reason, it was weird. I rebooted, and then like when I launched Wirecast, the app that I used to do my streaming, it just kept bouncing, right? And it never finished. And I launched Chrome to get into the stream, and it would just keep bouncing too. So weird. Never finished. And I launched Chrome to get into the stream, and it would just keep bouncing too. So weird. Oh. Okay. There we go. Hold on. I have some feedback going on here. Oh, it's on my phone. To post the comment to you guys, I opened the live stream on my phone, and I was like, well, how come I'm hearing myself? Okay. Sorry about that. Man, my audio seems a little bit hot. Is it? I didn't change any of my settings from previous weeks, but let me know in the chat. Let me get the chat room open really quick. Pop out chat. Sorry, I didn't have all this stuff set up beforehand. I just had to reboot. Cool. Excellent. Man, we got a busy chat room today. Audio slightly hot. Let me go just okay. Tweak the audio a little bit. Hopefully that'll maybe soften it a little bit. Okay. Man, I guess a lot of people want to chat about Foundation 6 menus, huh? Cool. I don't have too much of an agenda today. I just thought I would jump on, start playing around with menus. I know I have a couple things people I know have been asking a lot about, and so yeah, I'm sure we're gonna hit stuff like you guys are probably gonna ask me questions and wanting to know how to do this and that, and it'll probably turn out to be make some nice updates for menus. I'm thinking one of the big things for Foundation 6.2 will probably be some overhaul of some menus to make. There are some options I intentionally just I didn't add just to get the things out the door, right? So there are missing options. I've added a few as people have asked, but there's definitely a lot of features that are in the framework that I haven't added to the stacks yet. So yeah, hopefully we'll cover some of those today. I'll start off by looking at something I know a lot of people have mentioned that they've had some issues with, and that's with hover effects, right? So that getting just the hover effect, excuse me, on the menu. Someone on the community today also asked about how can they have a menu where like each menu item is a different color. So maybe we could do that. That's pretty simple to do. So I'm going to do those two things first. We're going to look at hover colors. So hover effects when you hover over the menu, how to change those colors. And I'll be honest, some of the stuff I haven't really played around too much. I know how I would do it, so it'd be fun to kind of just play around with this live. And I'm sure I'll find bugs while we're looking at this stuff, or some things that could be made better. And I'll definitely make sure that we make them better. So without further ado, let me go ahead and I haven't even launched RapWeaver yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's just do this. Let's get some RapWeaver going. I guess we'll just play with my sandbox project. Okay. Well, this hold on one second. This screen on my left is when I rebooted it. It always goes to 100%, and man, it is blinding. Come on, help me out here. There we go. Okay. All right, we got to shrink this window down a little bit. Okay. There we go. RapidWeaver. Well, maybe we could look at. I think I went over the foundation or the total CMS menus before, but we can possibly look at that again as well. You know, one thing I want to do is really quick. I want to move these over here. Okay. Boop. Let's just do that. There we go. Okay. Now that little Weaver Space logo is not in our way. Someone commented before that they liked my video better on the left. I don't know. I'll look at setting that up again. I was just playing around. I thought maybe on the right would look okay, but anyway. All right, so let's build out. Let's look at some stacks here. Okay. So let's just, for now, I'm just going to use the default menu stack. Right now there is RW menu, and I think that something that I think confuses some people is, how do you bring in the RapidWeaver menu into like a drop down and stuff like that, right? And if you want to do the RapidWeaver menu, so the menu that's built out via the RapidWeaver pages list, you have to use the RW menu. And this is a lot less settings than the normal menu stacks. So this you could basically say, do you want a menu, drop down, drill down, or an accordion, right? Obviously, drop down, drill down, and an accordion and menu are separate stacks on their own, right? And because of that, there are a lot more settings if you manually build out your menus, okay? The reason for this is that the way RapidWeaver generates a menu is a little bit. It doesn't give me control over as much control as I would need. Okay, therefore, I have to kind of automate some things when we're using the RapidWeaver menu. I have to assume some things and not give you guys controls for other things. So yeah, that's why the RapidWeaver menu doesn't have as many settings. So I'm thinking about maybe in 6.2, maybe doing an RW menu, RW drop down, RW drill down, and RW accordion to try to give you more settings. I don't know, no promises, but it's something I'm going to be playing around with. See if I can do that, because I know using the RapidWeaver generated menus does make things easier, because you add a new page and then it automatically adds things to the menu. You don't need to worry about it, right? But yeah, it is. We'll have more control. So for all of today, I am going to be using the non-RapidWeaver menu stacks, because they will give us a little bit more control over style options and things that we're going to want. So yeah, that's that. So let's start off with menu. Okay. And I'm not going to, I guess we can build out a quick little menu here. Let's just do like home. What's going on? We'll just do we'll do 5 menu items. How about that? All right, 5. So we have home. Then we have I don't know, products. Okay. Services. I don't know what blog. I'm a blog, right? And about. Okay. So quickly, just having a few different things here. Now, I'm not going to go over all the basics of menus, right? I mean, I've already done some lives on that. I do plan on doing, the reason I haven't done those shorter video tutorials on menus is because I knew I was going to be, revitalizing menus and adding more features in 6.2. So I kind of wanted to wait for that so that I didn't have to redo all those videos. So yeah, hopefully that answers that. So, okay, let's look at, so I guess we'll start off with doing some hover effects. Okay, so first off, when we look at a menu, right, we'll see that that's just kind of the default menu that we have, right? And let's menu. Let's do, we want horizontal. Let's do justified though. I think it's justified, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's say we want this justified, so it kind of justifies, spreads it out, right? So it all spreads out and stuff. Okay. Obviously, by default, menus use link colors, right? So if I were to go into site styles, and we look at the primary color, actually, no, we go down to link color, right? And if I were to make link color, let's scroll this over here so you can see the colors. If I were to make them, let's make them red. Why not? Let's make them red. You'll see that the menu color is red. And if I preview that, they're now red. But the hover color here is the color of the link hover, right? So if I can go here, let's say when I hover, I want them to go slightly darker red. Right? Okay, there we go. So now when I hover over them, we get a slightly darker red. Okay, so that is one way, right? So that's like the default way to control the hover color of our menu in terms of the text, right? But like sometimes we want our menu to be a different color from our links on the page, right? So what do we do then, right? Let's say, for example, let me just add some content to this page really quick. I'm just going to add some text. All right, so we're just going to add some text. Kind of make this into a live page here. Let's just we'll add a picture up here too, just for fun. And here, I always use this picture, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, so now we have a picture and we have a menu up top. Okay, let's preview that. Okay, obviously maybe we'd want a little bit of padding around the menu. So maybe we want to make the menu some colors, right? Something like that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to container. Let's chuck the container here. Oops, I added two of them. What is up with me lately? I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Okay. And we're going to do, first off, I'm going to use features. I'm going to add some utility classes just for me. And we're going to do padding 32. Okay. So here I'm going to go into this container. I'm going to do padding 32. Okay. Let's see if that's too much. Okay. And then we're going to want to give this menu a background color. Okay. Actually, let's do padding Y32. Because PY32, I'm not going to go over utility classes today. But yeah, this allows us to add some padding via these utility classes that's inside styles. Okay. I think I've gone over them a little bit in some of the other live streams. So I added some padding to the top and the bottom of this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let's add a background color, right? So let's go ahead and I'm going to quickly add a background color to this. Let's do background and I'll call it my menu. How about that? My menu. We'll do a background color, and let's just leave it gray, okay? Just so it kind of stands out. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do classes is my menu. There we go. Okay. So there's our menu. Wow, that padding is really big, and it probably needs some margin below it, right? Let's do margin bottom 32. I'm going to reduce that padding by a lot. I'm actually going to do it by 16. Okay, there we go. So there's kind of a menu. Okay, so I added a little bit of margin below the menu, and now we have our image and some text just so we could see something. But if you notice, our colors are still red. And let's say if you notice down here, our links are also red. Okay, but let's say we wanted this menu. Let's make this menu a dark color, right? Actually, I made it gray, but let's go ahead and make it a darker color. Here, let's just go all out. We'll go black. Okay, so it's black. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let's use a different color. Let's choose like this dark blue from this menu here. Click on that. Okay, so we're gonna use that color. I know you guys are gonna ask. I'm trying out this new color app. It's called Color Slurp. I don't know. I try every color app, and there's always something about them. This one seems okay though. It's very simple. So these are my Weaver Space colors. I just really started using it a little bit ago. So, yeah. Anyway, so I picked that. Let's get that color, and then we're gonna go into this background swatch, and we're gonna go into the color setting. Hello. And I need to paste in. Where is it? This one. No, this one. There. Paste. Okay. There's the blue. Dark blue menu. All right. Oops. I previewed in the browser by accident. Let's preview in my Weaver. Okay. So there we go. I have a dark blue menu, so it kind of brings in the blue from the picture. So it kind of goes, right, a little bit. But this red obviously looks horrible, even though the Golden Gate Bridge is red, right? But it just doesn't look great, right? So what would look good? Probably white, right? Right? I mean, a lot of text, a lot of menus are some sort of dark color with white, right? I mean, that's just what it is a lot. So what can we do there? Okay, so if you noticed inside Site Styles, the menu by default is controlled by the link colors, right? So if we look, link colors is a part of text colors, right? So if I wanted to define a custom link color for my menu, well, luckily we'll notice that the link color is a part of text colors. And if we look at our swatches, we'll notice that voila, oh, magically there is a text colors swatch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add text colors. And while I don't really care about any of the other colors here, I only care about link. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make link colors here. Let's just make it white. White. Okay. And maybe the hover color, if we want to do, or maybe we'll do white with like a 80% white or something like that. Okay. So now our link color here is white and 80% white. And we have to add our class. Now I'm already using my menu for this, right? So I'm going to do my menu for the text colors. And if we magically go down, we'll see that voila, just by adding text colors, my menu, I now magically have my menu colors are white. And when I hover over them, it is 80% white, right? And the reason I did 80% white is because it kind of lets the background color bleed through, right? So it just looks better, right? So instead of, I could have done a gray, but I think a lot of times on hover, like making it the same color, but just transparent allows that background color of whatever's behind it to kind of bleed through, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So I think that makes it look a lot nicer myself, but you can do whatever color you want. So hopefully that was pretty simple, right? Hopefully that you guys see how that was done. So that's one type of menu, right? That's pretty simple. Now, another type of one is when we hover over a link item, we want like the entire background to like change colors, right? So like probably in like a drop down. Okay. So let's do that. Let's figure out how to do that. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this menu just as is right here. Now let's do a drop down for that one, right? So I'm gonna let's go ahead and add a drop down in here. Give me a second. Let's start baking things. Also, I haven't been looking at the resolution is poor. Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can do this. Get some work off my GPU. Okay. Okay. let's do drop down. I don't see any bleeding questions on the forum or on the chat. So let's do drop down. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just use the same exact menu. Okay, there we go. And maybe for kicks, I'm going to add, or let's add a sub menu to this. I'm not going to change the labels. I'm just going to go ahead and maybe we'll add a sub menu to that. Okay. So there's our drop down menu. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and delete this my menu. Let's go ahead and delete the padding. Okay. Let's look at this. So right now we have a drop down. And if you notice, we do have hover, okay, by default on drop down. So we might want to configure that, okay. If you notice, none of our drop down menus are being displayed. And the reason for that is by default in a container stack. So I have my menu inside of a container. We have overflow is set to hidden, okay. We're going to want to set that to be visible, okay. So that will start to give us our drop downs. There we go. We have drop downs. Cool. If you notice the, yeah, we have hover. Okay. Sweet. So now let's play around. So we want to customize that hover color. And if you notice it, actually that's kind of odd. I never even noticed that before. The hover color only happens when it's a submenu. Interesting. I get it, but interesting. Okay. So we want to configure that so whenever we go over any of the menu items, that background color is going to be a color. Okay. And so let's go ahead and do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do background, and let's change this to be my drop down. Actually, no, we're going to use a component for this, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to use components, and we're going to do menu item, and I'm going to do on state hover. Okay, so whenever I hover over a menu item, I want to change the background color. Okay, and let's go ahead and change that to be, I get light gray would be okay, right? Let's do something subtle. Oh, and I want my parent class to be my drop down because I want to target this only on my drop down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm actually going to add my drop down to the container. I think you have to, yeah. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to do it two ways. First off, I can't remember how I did that on the code for the parent thing. So I'm going to try to add it to the dropdown because that's probably what most of you would do. And that was what I would assume as well. Let's go ahead and preview that. And that did not do what I thought. Okay. Okay. So I was right the first time. We'd add the parent to the menu, which is the container. We add my dropdown to that. Okay. And there we have. Now, interesting, if you notice when I unhover over this, that is no longer gray. It turns blue. And the reason is because when I hover over a submenu, Foundation is adding an active class to that. So we might need to do a couple other things here. So I'm going to copy this, okay? And I'm also going to do active menu item, okay, with parent class and then the same color, okay? So let's do that. Oh, interesting. Just for fun, I'm going to try a force on that. Interesting. Okay, all right, let's play around with this. Okay, cool. See, I told you once we started diving into this, it would be a little tricky and I'd find some issues. Okay. Okay, so when I unhover on that, that should remain gray, but it doesn't. And that is not cool. So we're going to go ahead and open the inspector here. Okay. Is active a... Let's look at my swatch here really quick. Doing if active a hover. I should definitely do it. Oh, but it's not only just hover. Oh, okay. Hold on. I know why. None. Okay. I think that'll do it. I had hover state turned on, so it was only going to be active when hovered over an active item, and I want it whenever the active item period. There we go. Boom. Score. Okay, so we're getting there. Okay. So now we have, that's pretty much what a lot of you want, right? If you notice when the active link color is white. So unfortunately, we're going to have to probably create an override for that, right? Because the active link color is getting set to white. And yeah, so let's look at this. All right, so now we're going to set, we're going to use text colors, okay? And we're going to use component, and we're going to do, well, for right now, I'm gonna fix just the active one, and then we'll tweak on that a little bit. Okay. So, let's say when it's active, I want it to be the same exact colors. I don't remember what that hover color was here. Let's just go ahead and get that really quick. All right, that way it's the same. Okay, so now we're overriding the active color to be our link color. Now let's try that. Oh, that didn't do it. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, I don't have a force option here either. Okay, let's preview that in a browser. Let's have a gander. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And this is background color is gray. Color is white color. Oh. Drop down menu is active A. Okay, so we'll see here that it's actually using background primary and color. Okay, so it's using the primary color and the white color. Interesting. Okay. If you notice, these are something called CSS variables. And these are the variables. I mean, they're pretty apparent, right? That's the primary color. That's the white color. So yeah, that it's using the primary as the background and then white as the foreground color, right? For an active menu item. So, I'm going to show you a way how to get this done right now, but I will definitely be making this better. Yeah, we'll definitely be making this better. Okay. So white color and primary color are component colors. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a component color. And even though all these other colors are here, the only one I really care about is white. So I'm going to go ahead and set the white to be our red color. Okay. And we're going to set this on active menu items. Oh, with a drop down. It's my drop down. Right? Yeah, my drop down. Okay. So now, if we preview this, we now hover, and our active menu item color is now the same color red. So it doesn't switch back to white. Okay. Cool. Okay. So that was two things. I know those are two very common things. What are some other things that we'd like to do? Hold on. Let me add some notes from someone else. Let me just open those up really quick. Make sure that we look at everything here. Background and hover color settings. Will there be irrelevant menu swatch coming up? Okay, yes. Oh, transitioning. Okay, here's a good one. Transitioning between menus, right? So, I think that confuses some people. Like, I want to have a drill down on mobile, and then a drop down on desktop, right? And I think that confuses some people, and I can understand why. And the reason that confuses you is you're stuck in the mindset of building for a desktop, right? You're thinking, okay, on desktop, I want a drop down. Let me build a drop down. And then on mobile, then you go to transform that to be a drill down on mobile, and you can't, right? And the reason is you need to start, again, foundation is mobile first. So you need to always start with what you want it to be on mobile. Okay. So if on mobile we want a drill down, okay, we have to start with the drill down stack. Okay. So let's go ahead and, what was this? Oh, that was an extra stack. Let me delete that. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a new container here. Let's do that. I'm going to change this class to be my drill down. I assume that's what we're going to do. I might need that. Okay. So here we have a third menu here. And since we want to have a drill down on mobile, okay, we're going to go ahead and add a drill down. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this same menu. Okay. So on mobile, we have a drill down. Okay. And let's just go ahead and preview that. So we have a drill down menu, and it goes back, right? We go to services, we can go back, right? Stuff like that. Okay. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, well, look at these colors of these things. Okay. And I see that those probably are not the correct colors, right? But I kind of recognize that color as being the primary color, right? So, and we can verify that. Let me open that in the browser. And if I were to inspect this bad boy, right? If I were to inspect this, let's see, it would be there, the after. And we'll see that here it is using the border color is definitely set to be the primary color, right? So what's cool is we know how we can override the primary color on something. Okay, that's pretty simple, right? So let's say we want to make these that same red, okay, just for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and add the primary color is controlled by components, okay? So what I'm going to do is for this class, I'm going to do dot, not dot. I'm going to do my drill down, okay? And we're going to set the primary color to be red. Okay. And that should do it. Boom. That's it. So inside, because remember, I have this container here, and this container contains a class called myDrillDown. So anything that uses the primary color inside this container now is set to be red. Okay. Now we're setting a bunch of other colors, but we don't even need those, right? So that's okay. We only needed to set the primary, change the primary on there, so it's not too bad. Okay. So cool. That was a pretty simple one. So now we have that red. You can make it whatever you want, right? But it at least matches. Okay. Cool. All right. So now we have our drill down on mobile. Okay. That works great on mobile, right? Because it doesn't really work great on desktop, right? But if you notice here, when we go down to mobile size, it works a lot better, on mobile. Okay. Sweet. So now let's morph that. Let's say on medium, okay, medium and large, we want it to be a drop down. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to say transform medium drop down. Okay. So again, on by default, it's a drill down. And then on medium, it's going to change to be a drop down. Okay. And that should just all happen magically. Fingers crossed. Okay. So let's preview this in the browser so I can resize. So here we have small. And again, on small, it's the drill down menu. And as we get larger, it should, this might be JavaScript enabled. So it might, what? I know that worked before. Did I break it in the update somehow? I think I need to do medium horizontal. Let's try that. Interesting. There it goes. Interesting. Okay. That even caught me right off guard. So let's explain that. Okay. So on mobile, if we notice our menu is vertical, okay, and drill downs by default are vertical, okay, because, well, they don't distribute. There's one per line, right? So there's one per line. Man, I have this thing. I almost have to sneeze, and it's been for 5 minutes. It's crazy. So drill downs are vertical, right? We have a vertical menu, so all the menu items are on top of each other. So we not only need to change to a drop down, but we also need to change the orientation of the menu itself, right? Because previously when I said none, right, that meant that it was trying to change it to be a drop down menu, but it was doing a vertical drop down, which actually there we go. It is a drop down menu, but it's vertical, right? So, and that doesn't really mesh together. Okay. I should have tested that before. So all we have to do now is do medium horizontal because we want it to be a horizontal menu. Okay. And there we go. Actually, that's kind of cool. Actually, I like the red highlight, and then maybe on hover, the caret should be white. That could be nice. Right. Cool. Yeah, if we go back down to medium or small, you'll see that we have our drill down. Cool. As you see, these are, there are some little bumps that, we found today so far that I'll definitely make sure I massage a little bit and make them maybe a little bit more user-friendly to discover at least. And I've said this in the past, I do plan on eventually releasing a menu swatch. Okay. And the original plan was a menu swatch, which will have a lot of menu specific styles, was going to be a part of an external swatches pack. Yeah, I still plan on doing an external swatches pack that has like specific swatches for each element. So like, let's say there's a tab swatch and an accordion swatch and a menu swatch and a for all the various foundation components, there'd be styles specific for those things, right? So you can customize your tabs and customize your accordions and stuff like that. So that was the plan, to have the menu inside that swatches pack. We'll see if that will still be the plan. I'm not going to say yes or no right now. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Anything else? Let me look at the chat room. See, some chat every now and then the audio seems to go, and the streaming, maybe the frames per second goes down a little bit. Sorry about that. Gunter says, Matthias, you're right. I have no clue what you typed there. My German isn't up to par. So, yeah, hopefully Gunter says you're right. I'm sure you're right. Let's see. How do we get rid of borders? I'm not sure which, Gaston, I'm not sure what borders you're speaking of. How to set up an active status menu. How to set up the active status item, like border in the bottom for active pages. Okay, so he's saying on an active page, how do we set up a bottom border for an active menu item? That's a fun one. I like that. Okay. Now I do have to admit there. So one of the drawbacks so far, all today, I said I was going to be using these, the menu builder based ones, right? So the normal menu stacks that have more settings. Now, a drawback of using these stacks that, build out the menus manually is the active page, right? Because a lot of times you're going to want to build this this menu, and then you're going to want to partial that so that the menu is the same across all your pages. And if you want to use or style an active page, unfortunately in this menu builder, you'd have to go to a menu item, and then there's a setting here that says this is an active menu item, right? That's not great, because then if you partial this menu and put it on all your pages, in this instance, services is always going to be set as your active page. So when you want to do active menu styling, that is the one case where the Rapid Weaver menu is actually going to be better for you. Okay. Because Rapid Weaver knows what page you're on, and when it publishes the page, it'll automatically set what page is the active page, right? Because it's itself, it knows. So that is a benefit of using the Rapid Weaver menu. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to duplicate this really quick. All right, let's do it on the top. Okay, I'm going to add a Rapid Weaver menu on here. I'm going to do top level navigation. I don't even know what nav I have in this project. I have a bunch of nav in here, actually a lot. Okay. Okay, so we have that top level, and let's say I want to style the active page. Okay, let's just preview this. Let's see what the heck it looks like. Okay, there we go. Quite a bit. Let's do align, justify. What will that do? There we go. All right, so let's say I want to style this active page, right? Okay. Actually, let's go ahead. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove the my menu thing and all that jazz. Okay, let's just go for a raw menu. Let's say I want to underline this active page, and by we also want to get rid of this background color, because we don't want that either. Okay. So I'm gonna call this. I'll go to container. Let's do my RW menu. Okay. So let's copy that. All right. So let's go ahead and do, first off, let's take care of the active background color because we don't want a background there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, go to component. I'm going to say active item. I'm going to put in my parent class of my RW menu, okay? And we're going to set the background color to be none. And if you look there, it's done, right? There it goes. Cool. So now I turned off the background, okay? And now we want to add an underline. Okay, so now let's go ahead and an underline is obviously a border. Okay, so I'm going to add a border swatch. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do component. We're going to do the active menu item. The parent class is my RW menu. Okay, and so now we're going to have to add some borders. So we're going to do simple. Let's do a red border at the bottom. Okay. Border size is, let's say what, 2 pixels. Do 3 pixels. 2 pixels. Okay. And then style. Actually, here we're going to do detailed because we only want a border on the bottom. So we want top, right, and left to be 0, and bottom is going to be 2. Okay. So if you see, we can kind of preview here right in the swatch. Okay. And if you wanted, you could do a style too, right? You could do dashed or something like that, but we'll stick with solid. And I think that's all we should have to do. Let's go ahead and preview that. That didn't do what I wanted. Let's look at that. Oops. Oh, I have to set a border style. Border solid. There it goes. Boom. There we go. Okay. Pretty cool. There we go. So now our home button is underlined, or our active page is underlined, right? And I do have to admit, like, because of all this padding, right? Because a lot of times when you do an underline, you want the underline to be the same size as your text, right? And I won't ignore that. Maybe because I know a lot of you guys are probably, this is we've made progress, but it's not perfect, right? Because if we inspect this element here, we'll see that the actual menu item here, it is that size, and the border, the bottom border of it is the correct size. But it also has padding, right? So what we need to do is we need to remove the padding for those menu items, right? At least the right and left padding. Maybe we want the top and bottom so it has a little bit of sizing, but let's go ahead and try to remove that padding on the sides. Okay, so if we let's do padding. Okay, and then we're going to go to menu item because we want to affect all menu items. And my parent class is my RW menu because I only want to affect that one menu on the page. And we're going to do detailed. And hold on, what's the padding on these by default? Just so I can redo that. "16 pixels." Okay. So we're gonna do top and bottom is 16. Okay. And left and right are 0. Okay. Let's preview that. There we go. Right. So if you see now, our menu item, the width of it is a lot lower, or it's the same exact width as the page, right? So if I were to here, let's do a bigger, let's do like a home page, so it's a little bit longer. Okay, there we go. Right. Now this spacing is a little bit between the menu and the border is a little bit too much, I think. So maybe we'll reduce the bottom padding to be 8. Okay, let's cut that in half. Oh yeah. Right. So there we go. You know, that allows us to underline the active page on a menu. And again, if you want to do active styling, and not via like hover or anything like that, the RW menu really is kind of the best way, because it automatically knows what page is active, and you can partial that, and you won't have to duplicate it. So that is a nice thing. The one real winning factor for the RW menu is it can automatically determine the active page for us, and we can't do that right now on the normal menu stacks. Okay. Good question. Great question. That was a fun one. I like that. Cool. Okay. Oops. Let's see if there's any others. Borders around the drop down box. Oh, are there borders on the drop downs? Oh, okay. Okay. I see that. You want them just to be like simple white, right? Okay. So you want to customize the background color of the drop down as well as all that. Okay. I don't even know what is. Let's click on this. So this is a submenu. Okay, I think I have a component for that. So let's go ahead and do let's do a background. And I do a component. I have a submenu here. So we can now style our submenus. Okay. And let's target I think it was my drop down, right? Yeah, my drop down. So I'm going to target the submenus of my drop down. Okay. And let's set that to be a color. Here we're going to set it to be like a pink. Why not? Okay. Just so that it stands out from the white a little bit. Okay. So we'll have the background color is that. You wanted to customize the borders of that, right? So we want to do a border swatch on that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to components. We're going to affect the submenu of my drop down, and we're going to just set the border size to be 0 because we want no border. Okay. And that should work. Right. So now if we go here, obviously, yeah, I mean, it's a transparent color, so you see the background below it, but it did work, right? And we still have all the same styles for hover and whatnot. But you see that is how we can, customize that drop down. Okay. Is with the submenu, component. So yeah, so background, submenu, you can change the background of that. Here, let's go ahead and make it a non, opaque color. Here, let's just use. Let's go to find a shade of. There, I would like something like that, right? So if we made it that color, there we go, right? And that doesn't look great either, but yeah, you get the point, right? So now we can. I remove the border. I change the color. Now I still have that hover menu, color set to gray, but we know how to tweak that because we did that earlier. Okay, so cool. That was a good one. Thank you for that. For drop-down menu can be added some smoother transitions. Currently, they look quite clunky. For example, the drop-down menu fade in from the right when hovering over the main menu item. Okay. So you want to add some more transitions for the drop-down menus. Here, let's just go ahead and see. I'm not sure if those what's available right now out of the box. Let's go ahead and look at the documentation. So I'm going to go to Get Foundation. I've with all my spare time, I've actually been trying to rebuild this this Get.Foundation website since I'm the maintainer now. So if we go to drop down menu, is there settings for animation? Let's make this bigger. I think it uses force follow, vertical class, close on click. A lot of these settings here are ones I haven't added, but I do plan on adding all of these settings here. Let's see. That's the Sats reference. I thought it used padding, nested margins, borders. Yeah. I'll have to look in that, Matthias. I don't know the answer to that. I can see what you mean. Yes, it is a little, it is quite clunky. It's just you hover and it's boom, it's there, right? Maybe you want like a scroll down or, some sort of, swipe or feature, just something that's a little bit more, a little bit more fancy. I could see that. I don't know if that's possible yet. I'll look into it though. Thank you for the suggestion. Cool. Is it possible for the F6 menu stack and not, but is it possible for the F6 stacks and not for the standard RW menu? Sorry, I wasn't sure what your question is. Okay. Yes, we need some animations here, there. So yes, another thing in Foundation 6.2 is I'm going to bring back the animation stack from Foundation 1 just because it was super simple to use and it just worked, right? And the stuff that's in Foundation 6 right now, while it is more powerful from the developer's perspective, it's not crazy user-friendly yet. So that's something I plan on making better probably in Foundation 7 in the framework, right? Is making those animations a little bit more user-friendly. But until then, I'm going to bring back the animations that we had from the Foundation 1 stacks inside Foundation 6.2. So you'll have all those, the animate in, animate out stuff that we had from Foundation 1 will be back in Foundation 6.2. Okay. Many swatches. So yeah, I mean, here we had many swatches. So I did a great video on how to organize swatches, right? So one thing you could do here is if we just had a pen, right? If I do, let's say this is my drop down, right? And then I found all the, boom, all of these that are for there, drag that in there. Okay. So, and then let's go ahead and we'll just continue on. We have a pen. We have, let's see, my RW menu, right? Okay. We go click here and here. It's not that one, this one, right? Drag that in there. Okay. There's that. Then we have, we got two more there's my drop down, my drill down, and my menu, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and add another pen. My menu. I'm just going to copy paste. just do my drop down. What the heck, stacks? That's not what I wanted. Drag those in there. Then we have these menu stacks in here, right? Then we had one more pen that had, let's see, pen. That was my drill down. I probably should have started off like this because I knew I was going to create multiple. So let's add that in there. Boom. Okay, so that's a little bit more organized, right? So we can kind of organize all of our styles. We can compartmentalize them inside pens. Another thing is, if you watch that how to organize swatches video, there's also the external, the other swatches stack that allows you to, have all of these inside their own stack. If you use Pen is a free download. Go ahead and download it from my site. You can also say Slim Note, Collapse Pen, right? So you can even make things even more, So like if you really didn't want to see that stuff, you can collapse it all. And that's pretty neat, right? Right. So now while we have all of those, if I ever wanted to look at, all the styles that I had for my menu, I can just go ahead and uncollapse that. And then I can go ahead and start looking through all of these. Right. So yeah, pen is going to be a great way once you start getting too many swatches and you want to have a little bit more organization for them. It's going to give you a really great thing. And you can also color code them. So maybe, I don't know, red is for, menus or something like that. Or, you can color code your pens, I guess. Just some ideas. You could also do slim notes, which makes them even more slim if you really want them down, right? Slim down the notes, slim notes. There you go. So there you go. That's about as small as you can get with all of those swatches. And you can I still know what they are. You can add more elaborate descriptions here in Pen. But it doesn't affect our page at all. We still have all the same styles. Everything is still the same. It just allows us to organize Pen a little bit nicer. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so pen is useful. It is a free stack on my site, and once you install it, you'll magically have pen show up in this menu, and it will show there. Yeah, cool. I think I answered all the questions. If you have more questions, please go ahead and ping on Weaverspace. I hope you find this useful. Hey, just a quick side note. Fit text is the deal of the week this week. And it's a really powerful stack, really cool one. It allows you to, dynamically size text like headers and stuff like that. Here, let's play around with it really quick. I'll do a quick demo for you of Fit Text. And when you come with Fit Text, when you buy Fit Text, it actually comes with a Fit Text swatch as well. So by default, there is a Fit Text stack. And so if we look at that, let's bring in Fit Text really quick. There it is. I actually gave it a new icon last night. So we drag that on the page. I'm just going to add it like there. And let's just go ahead and add a header to the page. Okay, let's do this. I'll just keep this as my header. And it's really simple, right? So you can target everything. Just say, you define the minimum and maximum size of the text that you want. And as you see, as I scale the browser down, it will dynamically size that for us, right? So all you do is you define the min and max sizes of your header. Oops, didn't mean to click on that link. And then it magically, it resizes the header for you. And it'll do more than a header. I think it works best on headers, but it will do, paragraphs and texts and stuff like that. And it works pretty good, but it works best on just headers. So check that out. The swatch is, oops, it switched pages in WrapReader. I wish WrapReader actually wouldn't do that. I know they see it as a feature, but I don't. Oh, anyway. What was I doing? Oh yeah. So there is a fit text swatch, right? So instead of using the fit text stack, if I just had this header on the page, boop, and I delete that, okay? And let's just call this I don't know, billboard, okay? And if I use that swatch and put it on my header, now I only have the header stack on the page, and I still have the benefit of using fit text, right? So it still makes my header large. Pretty cool. And it's all done through and that way I can leverage this same exact fit text setup on multiple things on the page, and I only have to have one swatch. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, fit text, that's only $5 this week. So it's normally $10. If you bought it years ago, actually it was a free update that I gave. I think it was, I don't know, last month. I think it was in December I did it. Maybe it was a little Christmas present. Because I completely rewrote fit text from scratch. Completely new, version 3, I believe. I think it's on version 3. And yeah, it's a good one. So check out fit text. It's the deal of the week this week. So just go add it to your checkout, and it's $5 this week only. So check that out. Cool, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let me see if there's any more questions. Putting all swatches in a site style stack. I've been putting them into their own swatch stack inside of the container they apply to. Yes, that's another. That's another way. I kind of went over that in the organizing swatches video, where you can definitely organize them into different swatches stacks. Is it okay to use an extra swatch palette for the footer, or do we put all on site styles palette if we can? You can put them anywhere you want on the page. It doesn't matter. No, it should still all work. It doesn't matter if you have them on the top. I personally would have them all at the top so that you have like all your styles in one place. But you can definitely have your swatches wherever you want on the page. And they should still work, right? So one thing about the order of swatches where they are on the page is, let's say you have a swatch further down the page that may conflict with the one above it. Whatever the last one is will win, right? So if first you say, background color red on a particular class, and then later down on the page you have background color blue on that class, well, the background color blue is going to win because it's going to override, right? And then we get into there's some other like CSS conflicts in terms of more specific selectors and stuff like that, but I'm not even going to attempt to go into that today. So anyway, yeah, the order of your swatches does work if you want. It does matter. But that's only if you want to like have stuff that overrides other things. And I think for most people, we don't need to worry about that. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and we'll see you guys hopefully maybe this Friday at the Hangout.